Good evening. It's a road that is paved with good intentions by a church in Gainesville, but what they want to do with it has some neighbors concerned.
Members of the church are meeting with city commissioners tonight to get approval to sell a piece of their property located near Newberry Road. TV 20's Nico Clement tells us that could mean more businesses, more traffic, and for neighbors who live in the area, more headaches.
Yeah, Paige, members of Holy Faith Catholic Church are trying to market a small piece of property between Northwest 43rd Street and 39th Road. While some who live in the area say they're uncertain as to how that would affect their community, some church members argue, why leave it the way it is?
I can't picture it being that much heavier. I mean, it's heavy anyway, so what's a few more cars?
Philomena Pisani has been a member of Holy Faith Catholic Church for nearly 40 years. She says that area around Newberry Road has always been a go-to spot after services.
As a general rule, when we had children, it's like, okay, when our kids were little, we went from Mass over to the Clock restaurant and we'd all go as a big group. And I mean, they got used to it. It was like, okay, here come the 11 o'clock Mass group. Now
Pisani, along with other members of the church, want more to come to that area. It's spearheaded by their pastor, who is unavailable for an interview today. They hope to have this 5-acre property rezoned from a residential property to a zoning that may allow offices, restaurants, and even retail.
Anytime you can bring a business in, a good business, it's going to have, say for example, you're going to have a restaurant there, or maybe some more doctor's offices consistent with what's around there. And perhaps you happen to go across town to go to a favorite little restaurant, you might find a new one there.
Commissioner Craig Carter says church leaders have been meeting with city staff leaders for a while to put this zoning in place, have the ordinance changed for the land use so they can market the property to developers.
it doesn't make sense not to have the entire area be multi-use zoning when everything else around it is either commercial or multi-use. It is really not a residential area, and that little strip is not going to make that much difference in the traffic.
Neighbors who live in the area say otherwise.
I'm afraid more traffic could come on this road because it's a quiet street. There's a lot of people that walk their dogs, their kids are up and down the street. That's the main issue.
Dorothy Sullivan has lived across the street from the church for about 15 years. She says right now it's quiet, but more business would bring more cars entering and exiting her road.
Ballyhoo and that area is fine. I mean, you can still hear noise from that once in a while if the wind is blowing correctly. So if this is right up the street and it starts having a lot of noise, that could affect us too.
The meeting is taking place right now. The pastor at Holy Faith hopes after they get the zoning change, they can sell the land to someone who wants to develop it and take that money to use for renovations to their church. Nico Clements, TV 20 News.